Okay, welcome to Bar Deli TV. I'm Niclas and I'm sitting here with Joakim Losin, and we're at the Stockholm Beer and Whiskey Festival in Nacka Strand, and actually checking out all kinds of different vendors within beer, whiskey, liquor, and all things bar related and delicious. And Joakim, you are marketing manager.
True. Yes. Exactly. My title is business manager, but that's more equivalent to marketing manager.
Yeah.
I'm responsible for our imported portfolio and all the specialties that we carry within Carlsberg. Carlsberg is more than just Carlsberg. Falcon, Pripps, Tuborg, and our biggest own brands. We do have some gaps in our portfolio, and that's why we started a few years back a concept that we call House of Beer, and that's what I'm in charge of.
Okay, and that's actually all of the beers that are internal and externally.
Yeah, we do exactly. We do have some beers that is ours, and it could be Carlsberg, other countries within the Carlsberg group, which has interesting beers that suits the Swedish public. But in general, our main focus is actually on our competitors' products, which is a bit tricky, but that's something you have to live with.
Yeah, tricky balance.
Tricky balance, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and I wanted to start asking you with what I always want to ask my guests. What is your background in, and how did you get into the world of beer, or if you say the house of beer?
Yeah.
How did you become passionate about what you're working with?
I think passion is inside you from the beginning, and for my first when I first had my serious first beers were when I studied at the Royal Institute of Technology. Mm-hmm. Happens a lot. If you're a student, then you have your first beer experience in a controlled environment, more or less. And I liked it, and I ended up being in charge of all our big parties and the pubs at the student union in full time for a year. Okay. And then we were a significantly big customer to Pripps, which were before Falcon and Pripps emerged to Carlsberg. Mm-hmm. And I had a good relation with my sales guy, and I like to talk. So I said, okay, but when your year is over here at the student union, why don't you come over and do some work for us? Yeah. So what I did was I did beer lectures, beer tastings, and a lot of strange projects for Pripps and then Carlsberg on my spare time. Okay. So I actually had the opportunity to go to school without taking any student loans. I actually earned that much, so I could pay for my time in school with beer.
Yeah, with beer money. That's awesome. So you're schooled to an engineer, as an engineer.
Yes, in graphics.
Okay, and after your schooling, did you actually work anything within that field?
No. Beer came in the way, so to say. Yeah. What happened was that a couple years in, it was 99 I think, Pripps did a dreadful year and showed red numbers, I would say. They lost a lot of money, so they started to cut costs. And the department which I worked for at that time, spare time, they costed too much to have these kind of beer schools. Yeah. For the public.
What year?
98 was the year when Pripps had a really bad year. Okay. And that was the effects of losing Coca-Cola, because Pripps used to be a Coca-Cola bottler, and they lost it. So Coca-Cola started up their own operations in the Nordics. So at that point we didn't approve that this huge, very, very, very good theme that they had running with teaching students and companies and consumers how to taste beer. And today that's more or less what everybody knows, more or less. Beer had come very far during the last 10 years. But at that point there was a gap in knowledge. So it was a lot of fun, and there was a lot of interest, and it was new to very, very many. So what we did was that we actually offered Pripps to take over the business. So me and one of my friends start adopted own company and took over the whole operations with staff and everything, and increased the prices to some extent, and also the way added different kind of services to try to get it, say, at least at a a small amount of revenue. But and it ended up quite well. So we increased to say 40,000 consumers that were attending our beer schools annually, and we were up to 23 employees when we were at our top.
Okay. So would you say that adding services such as educating your customers was actually what helped drive the revenue up?
Absolutely. We used the the beer school part of our company as a base, and then we could offer other services both to Carlsberg but also to other companies. We acted as sales reps. We did sampling events. We did a lot of strange events. We did these kind of fairs. We did everything from plumbing to personal shopping for CEOs. We had it all. We deliver goods. We had a cash and carry which we ran for Carlsberg, which customers that forgot to order could go to and pick up beer if they had a permit, so to say. And we also delivered extra bars, fridges. That was a lot of fun. We did it all, from CEO level down to plumbing work. So we did almost everything.
And how did this lead to the situation where you and Carlsberg are today?
Good question. Carlsberg came in. At that moment, there was a total need of reconstruction of the company. So the brewery out here in Stockholm was closed, 2002 or 3. And at that point, my base for my company disappeared because we showed the brewery.
Yeah.
So 2 years later, I decided to leave and actually go to do something that I was educated for.
Yeah.
So I got hired as information and sales director for a small IT company. And I told my customer, Carlsberg at that point, that I'm leaving the business. So I was
the beer business.
The beer business.
Yeah.
It has been really fun, but I had 2 kids at that time, so I really needed to have a normal job without the phone ringing at 2 a.m. in the morning with something happen somewhere. So I decided to take a normal job and said, "Oh shit, stop! Don't sign anything. Give us a few days."
Okay.
And a few days later, I was hired by Carlsberg, and that's my way into the real beer business.
Yeah.
I'd say. So I was back again after 7 years as my own, and I started up working with Systembolaget. A lot of fun. It's a controlled environment, and try to get the grip of, how can we, as the biggest brewer, work together with Systembolaget or do the right stuff to get our things into Systembolaget. Showing them great respect because they have a lot of rules that you have to apply to, but they're good. Everybody knows. If you just know the rules, then you know how to play them.
Yeah.
So a few years with Systembolaget and then into marketing.
Yeah. So speaking of Systembolaget, that's the reason that they can exist, that they provide excellent service and quality.
Exactly. And they just buy on quality or taste profile, that you have the right taste according to what they're looking for, combined with the price.
Yeah.
So it should be price worth.